What started as harmless lyrics turned into one of the most disrespectful moments the rap game has ever seen. When rappers began throwing shots at Eminem's daughter, hailiejade, nobody expected the storm that was about to follow. The internet exploded, fans were furious, and even OGs in the industry started choosing sides. But behind all that, the tweets, the diss tracks, and the interviews, lies a twisted web of jealousy, revenge, and unfinished business that goes way deeper than anyone thought. It all began with a few careless bars, a name drop that should have never happened. Within hours, Haile's name was trending worldwide, and Eminem's silence made fans even more nervous. Rumors spread that Slim was back in the studio, locked in for a nuclear response. But as days went on, something even crazier happened. The rappers who dissed her started turning on each other. From cryptic posts to secret recordings leaking online, this wasn't just about rap anymore. It was personal. And when Hailey herself finally broke her silence, the entire hip-hop community froze. This is the real story behind the chaos, when rappers crossed the line and dissed Eminem's daughter. It all started on a random Friday night. The internet was calm, until one rapper decided to cross a line nobody ever thought they would. Out of nowhere, Lil Tazzy, a rising 22-year-old rapper from Atlanta, dropped a track titled Legacy Killer. The cover art alone was controversial. A broken microphone, a crown with blood dripping, and a caption that read, "Respect is earned, not inherited." At first, fans thought it was just another subliminal aimed at his rivals. But 30 seconds into the song, Lil Tazzy spit the bar that changed everything. "Ain't no princess in Detroit. Y'all worship Hailey like she holy. I'd rather battle her daddy, but the daughter's what controls me." Within minutes, social media went crazy. Screenshots flew across Twitter, TikTok edits started popping up, and the comments were ruthless. Bro, he did not just go there. I'm about to end another career before lunch. Someone get Lil Tazzy a helmet. He's about to get nuked. Eminem's name instantly shot back to trending #1. It was 2018 all over again, except this time, it wasn't MGK. This was personal. People were tagging Eminem under every post, waiting for a reaction. But M didn't tweet, didn't post, didn't even blink publicly. Silence. And that's when things got darker. Because the silence made it worse. A few hours later, DJ Academics went live saying, "Yo, I just got word from someone in Detroit. Marshall heard that track. He's furious, but he's playing it cool. Y'all remember what happened to Benzino and MGK? This might be another one of those." The internet went wild. Reddit threads titled Eminem Plotting started getting thousands of upvotes. People began digging into Lil Tazzy's old tweets, his family, his background, everything. It was like watching someone light a fuse and stand next to the dynamite. But that was just the start. Because a few days later, another rapper decided to jump in. Rico Vane, a rapper from Chicago who'd been desperate for clout ever since his last mixtape flopped. He dropped a snippet on Instagram, grinning while smoking a blunt, saying, "If Tazzy started the fire, I'ma pour gasoline." And sure enough, his diss track Slim Pickings dropped that same night. He didn't just go after Eminem, he doubled down on the disrespect. "Tell Hailey I'm outside, she know where I stay. Her daddy's shadow still blocking her day." That line alone sent shockwaves. Fans were furious, even other rappers spoke out. Joyner Lucas tweeted, "You can diss him all you want, but leave his daughter out of it." That's weird. Royce59 went live on IG saying, "Y'all don't know who you playing with. Detroit don't forget." The tension was thick. Everyone was waiting for Slim Shady to respond, and yet, he didn't. Instead, rumors started swirling that Hailey herself had seen the disses. A TikTok video showed her at a coffee shop with headphones on, looking frustrated. Someone in the comments claimed, "She was listening to Rico Vane's song, I swear she rolled her eyes." It spread like wildfire. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. Hailey posted on her Instagram story. A black screen with just one line of text. "Some people want attention. Others earn it." No names, no tags. But everyone knew exactly who she was talking about. The moment that story went live, hip-hop Twitter exploded. "Yo," she responded before her dad did. She got more composure than half these rappers. Eminem raising warriors, not victims. That single post made her trend overnight. Influencers, podcasters, and even pop culture outlets picked it up. TMZ wrote, "Eminem's daughter breaks silence after rappers' disses." And that's when it went from a rap beef to a media circus. Lil Tazzy saw all the attention Hailey was getting, and instead of backing off, he doubled down. He went live on Instagram saying, "Man, y'all acting like I committed a crime. It's hip-hop. Ain't nobody off limits. If M got a problem, he can pick up a mic. Simple." His smirk, his arrogance, it rubbed fans the wrong way. The live racked up over 100K views, mostly hate comments. "Bro, you're done. You don't mess with family? Wait till that M track drops. It's over." And then came one of the biggest surprises. 50 Cent himself jumped into the conversation. He posted a meme on Instagram, a photo of Eminem looking angry with the caption, "When you realize you gotta come out of retirement again." The post blew up. Everyone took it as a confirmation that something was coming. Lil Tazzy responded to that meme with his own story. "I don't care if it's 50M or Dre, y'all can all get bars." That was the moment the internet decided. Lil Tazzy had officially lost his mind. Even Charlemagne the God said on The Breakfast Club, "You can poke the bear, but not his cubs." That's not bravery, that's stupidity. But behind the memes and chaos, something else was brewing. A leaked studio photo started circulating online. Eminem in the booth, hoodie up, head down. The caption, 48 hours later, fans went ballistic. The GOAT is back. Goodbye, Lil Tazzy. Detroit about to eat. But while everyone was waiting for Eminem to drop his response, something unexpected happened. Rico Vane started beefing with Lil Tazzy. Apparently, Rico went live claiming Lil Tazzy was riding his wave and using his diss to stay relevant. Lil Tazzy clapped back, calling him a copycat cloud chaser. Within minutes, both were dropping stories, throwing shots at each other. "You talk like you invented disrespect." Lil Tazzy, "At least I made him notice." "You just made his daughter post a quote." Rico Vane. The beef shifted. The rappers who started it together were now tearing each other apart. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get more chaotic, a new name entered the picture, a rapper nobody expected. The rap world was spiraling out of control. Within a week, what started as one reckless bar had turned into a full-blown cultural earthquake. The disrespect toward hailiejade had crossed every imaginable line, and now even industry veterans were picking sides. After Lil Tazzy and Rico Vane turned on each other, fans began noticing a sudden shift. Rappers who'd been quiet before started to speak out, not just to defend Eminem, but to call out the new generation for lacking respect. Snoop Dogg, who had a complicated history with M, went live saying, "Y'all young dudes got no sense of boundaries. I don't care who you are, you don't drag family into it. You diss a man, not his daughter." That one clip went viral instantly, millions of views in hours. And just like that, the tone changed. The industry, fled from legends to producers, began quietly distancing themselves from Lil Tazzy and Rico Vane. Rumors hit that several venues had canceled their upcoming shows due to security concerns. A source close to Tazzy told a blog, "He's paranoid, man. Every time his phone rings, he thinks it's Marshall's people." Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Hailey was trying to keep her life normal. She hadn't posted anything since that mysterious quote story. Paparazzi photos showed her walking out of a Pilates class, head down, hoodie on, ignoring questions. But what nobody knew was that she'd already begun to plan her own response. A week later, out of nowhere, Hailey dropped a 3-minute Instagram video. Not a diss track. Not a rant. Just words. Her voice calm but sharp. "I grew up in the public eye. I've been mentioned in songs since I was a kid. But there's a difference between clout chasing and artistry. You can write bars without dragging someone who didn't sign up for the spotlight. So to every rapper who thinks using my name will give you fame, remember, you can't build a legacy off someone else's." Fans lost their minds. Comments flooded in. "Talk your talk, queen." She handled that better than any diss track. She said more in 30 seconds than they did in 3 minutes. Within an hour, the clip had over 15 million views. Celebrities reposted it. Drake's producer, Noah 40 Shabib, commented a single word: respect. That's when the story reached Eminem. According to insiders, when M saw Hailey's video, he was proud. But boiling inside, one Detroit producer close to him leaked a private conversation that reportedly went like this. Producer: "Yo, she handled that like a boss. You don't even gotta say nothing." Eminem: "Yeah, but they think silence means weakness. They forgot who I am." That quote started floating around Twitter, sending fans into full meltdown mode. The pod Slim Shady is back hashtag trended for 2 straight days. Bloggers started speculating that M was secretly recording a diss album titled Bloodline. Of course, no one could confirm it, but a mysterious clip posted by Dr. Dre's engineer showed Eminem pacing in a studio with a notepad. The caption? Detroit Nights. It didn't take long for fans to connect the dots. Meanwhile, Lil Tazzy was unraveling. He went live again, visibly drunk, slurring his words, saying, "Y'all acting like I'm scared. I'm not scared of no rapper. I don't care if he's from the 8 Mile or Mars. He human just like me." But the live didn't go well. He tried to freestyle and forgot his own lyrics mid-sentence. Fans clipped it, turned it into memes, and by morning, Tazzy Forgot His Bars was trending on TikTok. The pressure was cracking him open. Rico Vane saw the chaos and tried to flip the narrative. He posted a photo in front of a Rolls Royce with the caption, "They mad 'cause I said the truth. Legends fade, new kings rise." That post aged horribly, because just hours later, 50 Cent struck again. He posted a photo of a cemetery gate with the caption, "Career plots open, Detroit digging graves." That one line had everyone losing it. Even Boozy the Game and Joyner Lucas commented laughing emojis. Tazzy deleted his last 5 posts. Rico went silent. And then things got really strange. A private recording started circulating on the dark corners of Reddit and Twitter. It was supposedly a leaked studio snippet, Eminem's voice rapping in a low growl. "Talk tough till you mention my seed. Now your label call beggin' for peace. No respect, no release, you should have thought before you pressed delete." It sounded too real. Fans argued endlessly about whether it was AI or authentic, but deep down, everyone believed it. Memes flooded timelines. Tazzy running to Canada, Rico hiding his phone, Eminem sharpening his pen like a sword. And just when fans thought the situation had peaked, it took a shocking emotional turn. Late one night, Hailey posted again, this time not a clap back. Just a single black and white photo of her as a child sitting on her father's lap in the studio. The caption, "He taught me how to stand tall even when they come low." The post instantly went viral. Every comment section was flooded with hearts, prayers, and anger toward the rappers. But one comment stood out, from 50 Cent. "She don't even need to talk. The world already know who her father is." By this point, brands started pulling away from Lil Tazzy and Rico. One energy drink canceled their sponsorships, and a festival quietly removed their names from the lineup. In a panic, Rico Vane's team reportedly reached out to Eminem's management, begging to clear the air. But sources say Paul Rosenberg, M's longtime manager, refused to take the call. Then Detroit radio station Hot 107.5 aired an anonymous voicemail. A trembling voice said, "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I respect M, I was just trying to go viral." Nobody could confirm who it was, but everyone suspected it was Lil Tazzy. At this point, the situation had turned from a diss war to a moral lesson about clout chasing gone wrong. Every outlet was covering it. Complex, XXL, Shade Room, all posting updates by the hour. And behind the scenes, Eminem was quietly watching everything. A close friend said, "He's not rushing it, he's patient. He's strategizing." When M responds, he responds to end careers. The tension was unbearable. Fans started dropping theories online. Maybe M's waiting for the anniversary of 8 Mile. He might drop at midnight. He's making a whole movie out of this. But nobody expected what came next. Because 3 weeks later, without a word, a mysterious trailer appeared on Eminem's official YouTube channel, Black Screen. Thunder sounds. Then a single phrase in red text appeared. "You mentioned the wrong name." And underneath it, "Bloodline, coming soon." The internet lost its collective mind. Twitter crashed for an hour. Reaction channels started flooding YouTube. Lil Tazzy deleted all his posts and locked his comments. Rico Vane unfollowed everyone, even his label. This wasn't just a comeback. This was an execution being scheduled in real time. The world had been waiting for this moment. For weeks, the tension in the rap industry felt like a ticking time bomb, and that trailer titled "You Mentioned the Wrong Name" was the spark that lit the fuse. 3 words. That's all it took for the entire internet to erupt. Every podcast, every YouTube commentator, every rapper had something to say. DJ Academics tweeted, "If M really dropping a track called Bloodline, we might be about to witness the biggest lyrical funeral in history." Charlemagne the God said on air, "This might not just end careers, it might end people's credibility." Even artists who once had tension with Eminem, like The Game and Nick Cannon, stayed unusually silent. Nobody wanted smoke. The countdown began. Eminem's YouTube banner changed to a cryptic phrase, "Family is off limits." That was the only update. No teasers, no leaks, no interviews. Just pure, eerie silence before the storm. The drop. At midnight on a Friday, without warning, Eminem dropped Bloodline. No promo, no label push. Just the track, raw, cold, unapologetic. The opening line alone sent chills down the spine of every listener. You wrote my daughter's name. Now write your own eulogy. Boom! The entire beat exploded. It was vintage Shady. Sinister violins, thunderclaps, and that unmistakable rage in his voice. He didn't hold back, calling out both Lil Tazzy and Rico Vane by name. You from Atlanta, right? But your flow sound like the Midwest, trying to ride my wave. Now you drowning in your own mess. Then he flipped it on Rico. You said my bloodline fading. Now you lookin' dehydrated, thought fame would feed you. But the hunger's what I created. Fans lost their minds. Reaction videos were dropping every second. People screaming, pausing, rewinding. Twitter threads breaking down every bar like it was scripture. Within an hour, the song hit 10 million views. By morning, 30 million. And it wasn't just the lyrics, it was the message. Eminem wasn't just defending his daughter. He was schooling an entire generation of rappers on respect. Midway through the track, the beat switched. Darker, slower. He started speaking more directly, almost conversationally. I ain't mad at you for trying to blow, but don't use my kid's name just to get a show. I paved the road, but y'all still don't know. The weight of words till you reap what you sow. That verse hit the culture like a meteor. Hours after release, Lil Tazzy deactivated his Instagram. Rico Vane posted a single story. Respect to M. I went too far. I'll take my L. But it was too late. The memes, the reactions, the breakdowns, all of it drowned out any apology. People were already labeling Bloodline as the most savage response track since Killshot. On Reddit, one fan wrote, "This isn't a diss track. This is a father's rage with a pen sharper than any sword." Meanwhile, industry insiders began leaking details. Apparently, Bloodline wasn't just a random drop. It was part of a full-blown project. Sources claimed M had been working on this for months, ever since the first disrespect toward Hailey hit the web. Dr. Dre allegedly mixed the track himself. Scent had heard it a week before release and told reporters, "When that man said he's back, I knew the world wasn't ready." But the story didn't stop there, because hidden within Bloodline was something even wilder, a coded message. Fans noticed a sequence of dates mentioned in the song, 03, 18, 25. People speculated it was a hint. When they lined up the numbers with past release dates, it formed a pattern, March 18th, 2025. Was that when Bloodline Part 2 was coming? Nobody knew, but that theory alone kept the internet in flames. Even Hailey broke her silence again. She posted a story with the Bloodline artwork and a caption. "I didn't need him to defend me, but I'll always be proud when he does." That one post broke Instagram records. Millions of likes, tens of thousands of comments. Celebrities flooded in, Kim Kardashian, Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion, all showing support. But not everyone was happy. Some younger rappers started complaining on Twitter, saying, "Why can't we say what we want? It's hip-hop, freedom of speech." That sparked a massive debate. Is family off limits in rap beefs? Podcasts everywhere picked it up. The Joe Budden podcast spent a whole hour dissecting the track. Joe said, "You can't argue with what M did." He didn't just clap back, but he set a boundary for the culture. Even Eminem's longtime rival, Machine Gun Kelly, dropped a cryptic tweet. Damn, I remember that feeling. But behind the scenes, the real aftermath was brutal. Lil Tazzy's label dropped him quietly. His streaming numbers tanked overnight, losing millions of monthly listeners in days. Rico Vane tried to pivot, dropping an emotional apology track called Misunderstood, but fans weren't having it. The top comment read, "You understood perfectly when you mentioned her name." Meanwhile, Eminem stayed silent, again. No interviews, no posts, nothing. But fans noticed one eerie update on his website. A blank page with a simple message, "Blood thicker than clout." That became the internet's new slogan. People started making merch with the phrase. Hashtags trended globally. The entire rap community was living inside the Bloodline era. Even artists like Drake and Kendrick Lamar threw subtle nods in their lyrics referencing it. It became more than a diss. It became a cultural statement. And yet, there was one person still missing from the conversation. Lil Tazzy himself. Weeks after the chaos, a blurry video leaked online showing him in a small studio working quietly. no jewelry, no entourage. Just him and a mic. One line leaked from his new track, "I Lost My Pride for a Punchline." It was the first time fans saw humility in him, but the damage had already been done. Industry insiders whispered that Eminem's team had privately offered both rappers a chance to apologize publicly, and move on, but only if they stayed silent about it forever. Nobody knows if that deal was ever made. What we do know is that after Bloodline, everything changed. The younger generation suddenly started thinking twice before dropping names in bars. Podcasts labeled it the death of reckless dissing. And hip-hop, for a rare moment, agreed on something. Eminem had reclaimed his throne. Still, one mystery lingered. At the very end of Bloodline, after the final verse faded out, there was a quiet whisper, a voice barely audible. When fans slowed it down, they heard Eminem say softly, "There's more where that came from." That line reignited the internet all over again. Fans begged for Bloodline Part 2. Conspiracy theories exploded. And while M stayed silent, his daughter posted one more quote that sent chills down everyone's spine. Some bloodlines don't end, they evolve. Weeks turned into months, but the shockwaves from Bloodline never stopped. What started as two young rappers trying to go viral had transformed into a cultural reset, and the after effects were haunting. Lil Tazzy had disappeared from social media. His label page removed him. Spotify wiped his profile photo. And in the underground rap circuits of Atlanta, whispers began spreading. Tazzy ain't the same no more. A local engineer who'd worked with him leaked a clip of Tazzy in the booth. Voice cracking, no chains, no ego, just pain. All that talk made me famous, but silence made me real. I traded truth for clout, now I'm paying every deal. Fans couldn't tell if it was a comeback or a confession. Either way, it hit different. Rico Vane, on the other hand, tried to capitalize on the chaos. He went on No Jumper, claiming the whole beef was marketing genius. But the moment the host asked, "Would you diss someone's daughter again?" Pico Frozy. His laugh cracked. Nah, man, that ain't worth it. That clip went viral, not because of what he said, but because of how broken he looked saying it. The same rapper who once mocked a legend now looked haunted by guilt. Meanwhile, the public was still obsessed. Bloodline became a global anthem. TikTok trends erupted using snippets of the hook. YouTubers dropped analysis videos, each one claiming to decode deeper meanings in M's bars. But behind all that noise, something quieter and more powerful was happening. Hailiejade was using her voice differently. She launched a podcast episode titled, "Respect Isn't Up for Debate." Sitting calm in front of a white mic, she spoke directly to her audience. "I never wanted my name to trend because of hate. I just wanted people to know that boundaries matter, even in art." It wasn't a clapback. It wasn't emotional. It was grown. And fans loved it. Comments poured in. "This is how you handle legacy. She speaks like she was raised by a legend." Even Eminem's peers, from Royce to 5'9" to J. Cole, reposted clips praising her composure. But while the internet celebrated her maturity, Eminem himself stayed deep in Detroit. Off the grid, no interviews, no sightings. Reporters said he'd been spending more time at his studio than ever before. Then out of nowhere, paparazzi caught a rare moment. Eminem and Hailey walking out of a restaurant together. She was smiling. He looked at peace. TMZ captioned it, "Father and daughter, untouchable bond." That photo shattered the tension. Fans started calling it the calm after the storm. It became clear Eminem didn't just win a rap beef, he won the moral war. Behind the scenes, though, industry insiders were still talking about the aftershocks. One anonymous label exec told Complex, after Bloodline, artists started putting new rules in contracts. Some labels literally banned dissing family members in lyrics. That's how serious it got. Clubs stopped booking rappers known for shock rap. PR teams were rewriting playbooks. Even SoundCloud artists began trending for respectful bars. It was wild. Eminem had accidentally started a new movement. Rap with responsibility. Meanwhile, Lil Tazzy resurfaced on TikTok months later. No chains. No crew. Just him sitting in a small apartment. He looked straight into the camera and said, "If you ever think disrespect is the only way to be heard, remember my name. Not for what I said, but for what I lost." The comment section exploded, sympathy mixed with sarcasm. But one pinned comment stood out. "Takes more courage to apologize than to diss." That video hit 30 million views in a week. Suddenly, the same internet that canceled him was now listening again. Then he dropped a surprise freestyle on YouTube titled Lesson Learned. No hooks, no auto-tune, just raw confession. I went viral, not vital. Forgot music's about survival. I aimed at legends, shot my own chance. Now I'm rebuilding, bar by bar, stance by stance. Even hip-hop blogs that roasted him before started giving him props. The shade was gone, replaced with reluctant respect. Rico Vane, on the other hand, couldn't handle the pressure. Rumors swirled he'd left his label and checked into rehab. In a short video, he admitted, "I let fame mess with my morals. I thought beef was the only way up. I was wrong." Fans were shocked. For the first time, both men who started the storm were humbled, not by fear, but by realization. And guess who quietly followed Lil Tazzy on Instagram a week later? Hailiejade, no caption, no comment, just a silent follow. It broke the internet again. People speculated maybe forgiveness was in the air. A fan tweeted, "Em's daughter forgiving the dude who dissed her? That's real growth, that's power." The tweet hit 1 million likes overnight. By now, Bloodline had reached legendary status. It won Best Hip-Hop Performance at the BET Awards, shocking everyone. When Eminem walked on stage, the crowd went silent. He didn't thank anyone. He just looked straight at the camera and said, "Family isn't a punchline. It's the reason we fight, the reason we rhyme. Respect that, or get reminded why I'm still here." Mic drop, standing ovation. That 15-second speech went down as one of the coldest award moments ever. And yet, even after the world moved on, Bloodline left something behind. A new era of boundaries and rap. Young rappers began writing songs about loyalty, family, legacy, and instead of random disses. Mentors started teaching upcoming artists about the bloodline rule. A quote that became part of hip-hop slang: "Cross the bloodline, and your career flatlines." But one last twist sealed this story forever. A year later, Hailey announced she was producing a documentary titled Bloodline: The Price of Fame. It promised never-before-seen footage of the entire saga, from the first diss to the last studio session. The trailer featured one chilling moment: Eminem sitting in a dark room, looking straight into the camera. They said hip-hop was about freedom of speech. I say it's about freedom with conscience. The screen faded to black. Millions waited. The documentary broke streaming records the day it dropped. It wasn't just about rap beef anymore, it was about legacy, about love, and about learning when to draw the line. And that, right there, is the story that shook the entire rap industry. The day a few careless bars against Eminem's daughter changed everything. From reckless disses to heartfelt apologies, from destruction to redemption, this saga reminded everyone that words have power. Eminem didn't just respond with fury. He responded with lesson. He showed the world that respect will always outlast clout, and that real strength isn't in destroying others. It's in protecting what matters. Fans still debate whether this was all fate or karma, but one thing's for sure. When Slim Shady draws a line, the world listens. And as for Hailiejade, she walked away from all the chaos stronger, wiser, and respected not just as Eminem's daughter, but as her own woman. So what do you think? Did Eminem go too far with Bloodline, or was it the perfect response to disrespect? Do you think the new generation learned its lesson, or is another storm coming? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't over. If you're living for the real rap drama, the stories behind the beats, and the legends who shaped the game, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter, because in this world, respect isn't given. It's earned, bar by bar. It's earned, bar by bar.